Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is currently Friday, the 25th of March. The time is 7:17 a.m. And as you can see, this is my morning forecast for the day ahead. Like I say, guys, it is a Friday. So for me, when it comes towards the afternoon and the later we actually get, the less likely I'm looking for opportunities unless it is a very, very high probability setup. But again, this morning I will be still happy to look for opportunities. So here you go. As you can see, this is the Aussie US dollar. And yesterday we could see that I did mention about we were in this range here. We said we were going to range around. Now, one of the things that was interesting about this range is that there wasn't quite a clear idea of liquidity ticks and where we wanted to go. And judging by these three candles, we had a lot of indecision. And then, of course, we broke this high, took out this liquidity, and how did we react? We had an aggressive retrace, okay? But again, we didn't really follow through with that momentum. We didn't really get that kind of follow through and an opportunity to get involved, right? What actually happened after? Well, we actually came up in an ascending manner, right? You can clearly see this, guys. We had if I get rid of these highs and lows, we then had a high here. We had a low down here. We've come up, and again, we've took out this liquidity, retraced, again, took out more liquidity, and again, starting to see some momentum. So again, the direction of this could have changed. We could actually be looking for shorts, okay, as price action here is showing, because again, we are taking out upper levels of liquidity and starting to push down. Took some liquidity out here, pushed down. Took some more liquidity out here at the top, started to push down, but again, didn't have enough, faked out, came up and started to push down. So again, we will be sitting on our hands, being patient and seeing what happens next. For me personally, we can see that we are ascending, right? We can clearly see that we've come up. Again, we, like I said, broken high retrace, broken high retrace. We're getting this kind of smaller ascending as well within here. So again, for me, if we do break this low, get back to this level, I will be looking at a reversal opportunity, okay? That is very high probability. We can see market is exhausted to the upside, okay? But again, if we don't get that and we impulse down, I'm more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag. All depends on prior price action. But again, like I say, this is a nice setup. This is setting up quite nicely. You can see the major highs are breaking and retracing. So again, we are seeing that weakness and the squeeze here. So again, I will be looking to see what happens next on the Aussie US dollar. Again, we know this pair likes to trend correctively. So if we break, retrace, break, and come down in this corrective manner, I will be looking to get involved in a corrective trend. As long as we are seeing a strong corrective trend and price action is good, I'll be happy to get involved. But again, I will be a little bit more patient with this, because if we do have this ascending into a descending, we could easily just start to ascend again and descend and be a little bit more range bound. So again, I want to see more price action away from current candlesticks. So again, for me, I am waiting a little bit more on this pair. I am looking for a reversal setup if price action is right. So let's see and go ahead and see what happens in Friday today. Next pair is the Aussie Japanese Yen. So as you can see, guys, this has just had a crazy bull run. We spoke about this, that hey, it's been going up for quite a while. We can see that it's just gone up and up and up for ages. Literally, lowest point was around 80, probably even lower than that. Gosh, yes, look at that. It's all the way down here. So again, 82, currently we're at 91. So again, it has had a very, very strong bull run. Now again, what's happened most recently? Well, we can see we actually impulsed up, okay? We had this kind of ascending, right? And we impulsed up. We saw this impulse, but what happened at the end of the impulse? This is very, very important. We broke this high, retraced, and start to see momentum down, showing that, hey, we actually could be exhausted to the upside. We can actually clearly see. Look at these candles on the top, on the top side of the impulse, right? Versus the candles after. Can you see these 1 to 2 to 3 candles are so much, well, have covered essentially these 5, 6 candles here. So again, we are seeing that momentum down. But again, we didn't really get an opportunity to get involved. You can see we actually broke this low, retraced, broke this low, formed a large wick, retraced, broke the high, large wick, retraced. So again, like I say, we are in this high and this low. We've got wicks either side. So again, what am I anticipating? I'm anticipating more of a range. We have indecision in the market, we have liquidity sweeping, but I would not be surprised if, and this is something that I do see quite often, is that if we have this push down, break, push down, we come up to gather more liquidity up here, okay, and then we actually use that to fuel this move down. So I would not be surprised if price starts to shoot down, okay? So we'll see what happens come to my next forecast. But again, this is something quite common when we start to see strong moves down from an exhausted price action. We actually start to see this kind of move down. We grab more liquidity as a fake out, and then we actually start to push further. So again, we'll see what happens on Aussie Japanese yen. But again, for me, like I said, I'm waiting for a high probability, low risk entry point. So again, there's nothing here telling me, hey, I want to place an order. Right now, I am either anticipating the range or I'm anticipating the drop. Okay, but again, let's see what happens. Market doesn't have to do that, but I will wait for a lot more price action until I actually look to get involved, especially because it's a Friday on this pair. Next pair is Euro US dollar. As you can see, guys, market has been pretty choppy. I did mention here where I took the trades that, hey, we're going to be pretty range bound. I'm not looking for opportunities. You can see that we start to stick in this range. You can see price is literally just very uncertain. You can tell by the candlesticks here, candlesticks here. There is no really clue of where we want to go. So for me, I'm just looking at this and actually waiting for a lot more. I'm not really considering the highs and lows too much. But if we actually start to consider that, we have choppy price action here. We, of course, broke this high, retraced. Came up, broke this high, retraced. Okay, again, we've got a little bit of an ascending here, but again, what am I looking for? I want to see more of an established corrective trend, okay, like this. If we see that and we break the low, pull back to this level, I'm more than happy to look for reversals. Or if we actually impulse down, more than happy to look, oops, apologies for that. Or if we actually impulse down from here, I'm more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag, okay? Now again, remember, it's not uncommon to actually see on this pair where you get this kind of ascending here, and impulse up. If we do that, I'm more than happy to look for a nice continuation flag. And same if we start to see the weakness of the upside with a correction, I will be looking at opportunities to go back down south. But again, like I say, for me, it's a Friday. So again, we're in a range. I want to see a lot more behavior. It's highly unlikely I'll be taking a trade on the Euro US dollar today. Next pair is the Euro Japanese Yen. And guys, as you can see, this has been on a bull run as well for quite a while. So what has happened most recently? Well, we had a really nice fake out here. We had this V. We normally say when we have this V, we have a range and we move in the direction of the second leg. Now, there wasn't really an opportunity to get involved in this price action here. Again, we saw wicks every time we broke. So again, not really giving us confidence. Then again, we impulsed up, but what happened after the impulse? Again, very, very important. Okay, you can see we broke this high, retrace, broke this high, retrace. Okay, giving us this ascending nature. Okay, but again, what happened after? We broke this low, formed a wick, retraced. Okay, so for me, I'm not looking to get involved in a reversal setup at this point. I'm not sure if anyone was involved in a reversal setup. I think you would have. I think this is the inside bar. Yeah, the low would be here. You may be in, maybe out, I'm not sure. Looks like you might be in, but again, for me personally, I wouldn't be looking for a reversal. Why? Because if we bar replay to here, if you look at it from this perspective, at this candle, what's happened? We've had this ascending nature, have come down. We could have easily had liquidity sitting down here on this ascending, and then again shot up. So again, for me, the biggest warning sign was a wick. So again, for me personally, I wasn't looking to get involved. So again, we saw just after what happened, we anticipated the retrace and we got the retrace, broke the low, retrace. And again, now we just had a very aggressive retrace in the sense for this pair. So for me, what am I anticipating? I'm anticipating the highs here, lows here. I'm anticipating a lot more of this range, okay? I'm not getting clear evidence of where we want to go, especially on this pair. We are seeing this kind of ascending into descending. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we have another ascending into descending, especially as we come into Friday. So like I say, again, anticipating more range bound behavior with this pair. So I'm not looking really for any setups until next week, or unless we get high probability price action very quickly, which is again, impulse and nice continuation flag to the downside or the upside, okay? Something like this. But again, like I say, unlikely due to a Friday. Next pair is the pound. Now again, this pair is, like I say, I was really liking these kind of impulses. Very nice, looking for setups. I did say that this was a big warning sign. So again, this is a very, very big warning sign. Again, just actually wait for a larger range till we actually consider getting involved. We didn't get the opportunity anyway. So we broke this low, retrace, broke the high, retrace, anticipating a range. Again, what did we do as we came out of that? We broke this high, retraced. Do we have a low here? Yes, we have a low here. Broke this low with a little bit of momentum. But again, I don't trade reversals on this. They don't really work out. So what am I looking for on this pair? More commitment, exactly like this. I want to see commitment like this. I like to see this kind of price action. If we start to see commitment, I will be looking for those flags. But again, like I say, it is a Friday, so for me, not really looking on the pound for any setups today unless we get this price action form very, very quickly. Next pair is the New Zealand Japanese Yen. So as you can see, guys, we have essentially come up in this channel. You can see we've pushed up. So we've had a push up. We broke this high, retrace, broke the high, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the high, retraced, okay? And again, similar, I think it was to the Aussie Japanese Yen. I would not be surprised. We're seeing the momentum down. There's not uncommon to actually see this push down and then have liquidity sitting up here, have the liquidity taken out by this wick, as you can see, and then continue the push down. So for me, I'm either anticipating a range, okay, between the highs, which is here, and lows, okay, or after this candle, start to see that momentum down. If we see that, I will be looking to get involved in a nice continuation flag. But again, this will have to take a lot longer to form. And as it's a Friday, I wouldn't be surprised if we just start to range around. So again, for me, I'm waiting for a lot more price action on New Zealand Japanese Yen before I consider getting involved. So there you have it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this morning's forecast. It's a Friday. I hope everyone that is watching this enjoys their weekend. And I'll speak to you guys next week.